Making graphics for your profile or clubs like these is a lot easier than it seems, and anyone can make one on their PC, phone, laptop, or tablet. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use GIMP to combine backgrounds, renders, text, and links together into a graphic and then post it on MyAnimeList. Then, in the second half of the video, I cover more advanced tricks like adding YouTube players and GIFs, and then cover some troubleshooting to fix common problems. Graphics are made in the apps GIMP or Photoshop or online Photoshop-like websites, which are all free to use. Just look under the video in the description. I linked you to where you can download it from these direct links. Install it, and then run it with the GIMP icons on your computer so we can start. If you cannot run or install GIMP for some reason, try the Photoshop tutorials instead, as they work on many more devices. Then download some images for your graphic if you don't have some already. You'll need to get some character renders, backgrounds, or wallpapers of whatever anime or game you want to have on your profile graphic. Character renders have transparent backgrounds around them, so you can combine them with backgrounds and wallpapers for a unique graphic that is customizable and will really fit your personality. You don't have to use renders though, you can use whatever pictures you like. So with GIMP open, select File on the upper left and click New to make a new canvas which will drag images onto. It needs to be the right width shown here so that if you add links later, it won't have any errors. The tools on the upper left and the Move tool, which is circled here, will let you move around images inside of the graphic. You'll need to click on and drag images from your folders and release them right into the canvas. I'm going to drag in this forest background first. You can also use File and Open to drag images in from a list of items found on your PC. The Scale tool is also really important and lets you resize pics on the canvas. You'll be using these two tools the most. Add your characters on top of the backgrounds as I do here. Many renders come with signatures and watermarks, so we'll want to erase those so our graphics look a lot more professional and clean. I'm making him a little bigger so he looks like he's in the foreground and she's behind him. And I also want the colorful parts of her to be visible behind him as well. These are the image layers on the right. You'll see all the images you've dragged into the graphic right here. And the order is important too because it determines which image is in front of the others. You can also rename the layers and make them disappear from view by clicking the eye next to them. Now, just for demonstration, I want to show you how you could add other backgrounds on this canvas still and other renders to experiment and find the perfect graphic. However, for now, I'm going to go with the Goblin Slayer graphic. I do also want to save my progress with the save option under File. Projects in GIMP are XCF files. You can reopen them at any time in the future and continue your work, or give them to other users to open them. Now, GIMP has a text tool which we could use for the text. I don't know it well though, I know Photoshop more. However, we can still make fancy text for free with online text generators and drag them right into the graphic. There's many online like Cool Text, and we'll use that. They have a lot of options to change the font and color and have a lot of different styles too. Now I'm using this Supernova text style with the Immortal font to make some welcome text that has a fantasy feel to match our images. After I make the logo, all I have to do is go back in the browser and it will save my settings. Then we can make some links for the anime and manga list too. Aligning the text can be tricky, so you have to use the Move and Scale tools, or even click on and drag the guidelines from the top and the left to give you some help to position things. The guidelines are also going to be used later for making links. I also recommend for your first graphic to be real simple and maybe stay with minimal text so that you have an easy time in the next steps, because there is a lot to learn for a beginner here, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it. All anyone needs is some time and practice. Now before we get into links, you should export this graphic as a single piece for a guide later and backup in case anything happens. Just go to File and export it as a single image with the default settings. Now you need to click on and drag the guidelines from the top or left and move them around where you want links. You might already have some guidelines on the graphic from earlier. You can just use those too. I want the anime and manga text here to be links, so I move the guidelines around them. These lines split the graphic into pieces. When I'm done, I use the guillotine tool to split all the pieces up into separate files, and then we export each one of them. So now we're ready to add all these pieces to our profile, and we'll add links to them after that. Go to your edit profile and find your About Me box where you add BB code and text that appears on your profile. This is where your pieces will go. Now, you can't upload the pieces to the MyAnimeList site the way you did your profile pic. You'll have to use an image host like Imgur first. It's easy though. You'll need to sign up and log in, and then click on your name on the upper right and choose Images. Then, using the green button, upload every single one of the pieces for your profile graphic. With that, you'll need to copy the BB code links of your profile graphic by clicking on the pieces on Imgur. You'll post those BB code links in the About Me box on MyAnimeList. First, copy the code for the upper left piece in your graphic and paste it into the upper left of the About Me box. Now copy the code off Imgur for the piece to the right of that first piece. For me, it's this one that says My Profile. So right now we have the Welcome To piece and the My Profile piece. Any other pieces to the right would go on the same line of text right after them, but we don't have more pieces to the right of these, so we can just go to the next line with the Enter key and paste in the next pieces. And you can see here where the BB code in the box corresponds to a piece on the original graphic we split up earlier. So let's check up on our profile to make sure it looks good. So this is looking great. Now we can add those links. The first link we'll set up is the one for the AnimeList piece. I'll carefully highlight this old link after the equal sign. This and only this is what we need to replace. If I don't do it perfectly, it can cause errors. So I'll copy the address for the AnimeList from up here. And now again, I'll carefully highlight this link again, and then paste in my AnimeList link. Now that piece will link to my AnimeList after I save the code with the blue button on the bottom of the page. I have to do the same thing with the manga list piece now. And as you can see, the link works and it links to my AnimeList. By the way, if you like this list style, I also have several videos on customizing your list as well. And please don't forget to share your finished works with us. We do love to see those. If you have trouble, see the end of the video for Troubleshooting Solutions, and also see the rest of the video where I do some more advanced tricks, but I'm also going to make another profile graphic, and that might make things clearer to you. So now let's get to some additional tips and info. This is all optional and more for people who want to do advanced tricks or having trouble and need solutions. We'll work with the D.va and Goblin Slayer graphics some more. Adding buttons like these, which are customized links, is also easy. We're just going to use the cool text button generator page, which is linked below, and we'll make some buttons and drag them into the graphic. They're made the same way as the text earlier, and we can even have custom fonts and colors. I'm using the futuristic fonts here with pink to match the D.va theme. And we'll use the D.va graphic we started on earlier and finish it up so that we can see another example of making and uploading a graphic. Now we'll use the guidelines since these are going to be the links, and then we'll export them and upload it all to Imgur. I'm deleting the old Goblin Slayer profile graphic BB code here and pasting in the new D.va codes. And as you can see here, each BB code piece corresponds to a piece on the graphic. So I save it, and now I can replace the links. The blog link is easy to get from up here. To get the friend and message links, another account is going to have to copy them from your profile page buttons and get them to you somehow, and then you have to paste them into your About Me box like normal. Adding YouTube players is a little tricky. First, you'll need to make a second graphic that's the size of a YouTube player. Now copy visible the graphic and paste as a layer on your main graphic. Move it to where you want the YouTube player on your graphic, but do not resize it. You'll need to drag guidelines around it and use the zoom in option to make sure they are perfectly aligned with the size of the white square. Now when we export these pieces, you don't need to export or upload the white space, because what you're going to do is you're going to put the BB code for the YouTube player in the place of where the white space would be. But first I have to paste in some other pieces. Now I can get the video link. So I have to get the letters here from the end of a YouTube video's default share address, which looks like this, and you place it in between the YouTube BB codes tags which are on screen. Then you delete this part which comes with every correct share address. And now I paste in the rest. And the video is up. Adding animated GIFs is a real pain in GIMP, but it can be done if you follow these instructions carefully. Do as I do here with your animated GIF. Once you've got the spot for it lined up perfectly, delete the GIF from your graphic because we're going to add it again later after using the guillotine tool. So move the GIF onto the space you set aside and carefully do it as I do here. I'm deleting all the layers that won't be a part of this piece, including ones that are hidden from view. You should delete everything from the layer window except for the frames of animation. However, if you want to combine the GIF with renders and backgrounds on the graphic, you can do this. Anything that's supposed to go on top of the animation, like D.va's arm here, needs to be duplicated and moved above each frame in the layer window on the right. Anything that's behind the GIF, like the green background, needs to be duplicated and moved under each frame of animation. Then they're all merged together carefully like I do here. Again, this is just optional and you can simply delete everything from the layer window except the animation frames. And this is the result. The GIF works and D.va's arm is in front of it. If I didn't merge it with D.va, it would still look fine, it would just look completely in front of her. If you see this error, it's pretty common. It just means a bracket or other letter or symbol was deleted on accident, as you'll see here. All you have to do is find the error in your BB code and fix it back, or just paste in the BB codes all over again. This is another common error where the pieces don't line up, and it's often due to the original profile graphic being too large, so size it down or drag it into a new canvas with the right width, or make another one. If you have this error on your club graphics, this is a glitch right now that is not always possible to fix. You need to copy your BB code into a notepad and actually press backspace at the beginning of each line and then upload that. That fixes some club graphics with this glitch, but not all, unfortunately. If your images are blurry, they may have been too small, and when you made them larger, it blurred them out. So you have to make them larger with high quality through the Waifu X2 app, which is linked below. Dragging your pics into Google also helps you find bigger sizes sometimes. Another reason for blurriness or weird proportions is scaling them wrong. When scaling them, make sure that the chain on the scale tool is connected, and don't scale images to a larger size if possible. Only scale them smaller. Try to first get a bigger version of the image you want to use instead of scaling it up. Now, for any more questions, it's best to ask in our group linked under the video. It's very difficult to answer questions through YouTube comments because I can't see the graphic and stuff. So please post the images and broken BB code and anything else you can there in our group and ask there. And don't forget to share your finished work with us in the club. We do love to see that.